Hi there, my name is Steve Gearhart, and as always, this is the Unagi Observer. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching the video this week. Just a couple things. The storm just rolled into Baltimore just now, so you might hear some wind and thunder and lightning. I'm not sure, but hopefully that won't be too distracting like the cut on my chin from shaving this morning, which is totally distracting me. Anyway, so yeah, a couple things. Today, just want to talk about the Suicide Squad Isekai trailer, and of course we're going to talk about an anime that I don't think enough people talk about. It's called Coyote Ragtime Show. So let's get into it. Suicide Squad Isekai. So on first glance, I thought this was like somebody's passion project where they're like, wouldn't it be cool if this happened, and just made a fake trailer. As it turns out, it's a real thing. Came out about 7 days ago at this point, I think, at the time of this making this video. And I was pleasantly surprised to see that this is actually going to be a thing. I have been a long-time fan of the Suicide Squad groupings, including the original one, which Rick Flag was on, which was not what we see today that we have in the DC animated universe. The original Suicide Squad was like basically 4 normal people going on adventures, because the adventures were suicidal. But they always managed to make it out until of course, the last episode, or the last comic. Anyway, don't want to spoil it. So the second iteration of the Suicide Squad, when they brought it back, I believe this was like the late 80s, early 90s. That's the one that had Deadpool, Boomerang, and all those guys in it. And I, of course, enjoyed that comic. I enjoyed the DC animated universe's portrayal of the Suicide Squad. I've always enjoyed those animations. I am a fan of the live action movies. Yes, both movies. Don't get on me on the first one. I liked it. Sorry, that's my personal opinion. I thought it was fine. But the various spin-offs and things like that, I've thoroughly enjoyed. So seeing this as an anime, of course, I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be great. 2 things that I like. So you watch the trailer. It's only about a minute long. There are the 2 characters that they focus on the most are Joker and Harley Quinn. And you don't get an idea of what the story is, but the hook, the Suicide Squad hook, is that Amanda Waller towards the end of the trailer appears for a few seconds. And so obviously the Joker and Harley Quinn are doing something that probably the Suicide Squad has to go back in time or something. And so they isekai into a mythical Asian world, I guess that's what I'm going to call it, Japan maybe. And you have this really nice scene of a dragon coasting through. And I was just like, wow, this actually looks good. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed and hoping that this will be a quality anime event. Because when they did the Batman Ninja going back in time with Grodd and the Joker and the ridiculous looking mecha in Edo period Japan, I didn't like that. So I think this will be something of a better isekai. At least that is the hope. So we've got some heavy hitters on this trailer. We have, let's start with I'm just going to name a couple of them. The character design is Naoto Hosoda. You might know his work from things like he's got a huge list, by the way. Skullman, Alien 9, Vampire in the Garden, Read or Die, the TV series. What else does he have here? He has Kuno Muku. Gosh, he's got so much stuff going on here. Wow, I'm just not even going to bother reading the list. It's a lot of stuff. The director is Eri Osada. That name might sound familiar because he has done, let's see if I can find him, Jujutsu Kaisen, Go Sick. He's done one of the Pokemon movies, if I remember correctly. Dragon no Tao, The Aegis of Uruk, Garou, Pokemon 13. That's what he did. Last Exile. Nice. I liked Last Exile. That was good. So he's got some chops. Now the studio that's doing this is Wit Studio, and that's in conjunction with Warner Brothers. So obviously Warner Brothers is doing the distribution and probably the money bags behind it. But Wit, for those of you who don't know, have done things like the first 3 seasons of Attack on Titan. They worked on that series. They produced Ranking of Kings. They're involved with Spy Family. Yeah, Spy Family. And one of my personal favorites at the moment that I'm working through, which is Vinland Saga, which I'm really enjoying, by the way. So we got some quality stuff, I think, coming our way in terms of this isekai. Now, this is important because I have been getting sick to death of isekai. So I'm looking at this, I'm like going, okay, I think I can handle this isekai. Maybe I'm not going to be bored by the concept of this, because it is so many interesting things and so many talented people are coming together that's with a studio that has chops. So keep your fingers crossed that this is going to be something cool. It's going to be good. And I can't wait for it. All right, Coyote Ragtime Show. I've been meaning to get to this for a little while now. So about a year and a half, a couple of years ago, Brent Newhall from Anime Archaeology and the Weekly Dig that we used to do with him, John and I used to do with him, brought up this anime, Coyote Ragtime Show. And he said, hey, I know you really like Cowboy Bebop. You might like this. So this is something that might be up your alley. Warning, it is definitely early 2000s animation, so just if you can get past that, which I can, and which most people should be able to, then you're going to enjoy it, and enjoy it I did. So we actually got around to seeing episode 2 a few weeks ago. It has been on my ginormous list of anime to watch. I just never got around to it, but since the 3 of us were hanging out, and he says, hey, why don't we watch this, episode 2? I said, sure. And the reason why we started episode 2 is because episode 1 is like world building, and episode 2 really starts the story. And we watched episode 2, and I kind of got hooked, and I've been watching it among the many other anime that I'm watching. So I'm about halfway through it. It's a 13 episode OVA, and I'm enjoying it. Straight out, just enjoying it. So, but I did go back and start with episode 1 and work my way through. So let me just go through the tech stuff real quick, and then I'll describe the plot, and you'll see why you might like it if you like Cowboy Bebop. So the tech stuff is, let me go over here. So it's from UFO Table, is the studio that did it. It had a runtime. The original run was July 2006 to September 2006. So yeah, about 12, 13 episode OVA. It is it's one of those anime that gets bought and licensed out by everybody because nobody knows anything about it. So it's just like kind of like I wouldn't necessarily call it a cheap anime to buy and license out, but it's something that, if it's part of a package, people usually buy. Like ADV Films got it, Crunchyroll I think currently licenses it. It's gone through the gamut. So this is like I said, early 2000s animation, and the designer, you might recognize the name, Toshiro Kawamoto. He's the character designer of this, and you might go, okay, that sounds familiar. And when you watch this anime, you're going to see character designs that you're going to be like, wait a minute, isn't that the 3 old guys from Cowboy Bebop? Wait a minute, doesn't he kind of look like so-and-so and from Cowboy Bebop? And hey, wait a minute. So there's a lot of like similarities between the two because Toshiro Kawamoto did the designs for Cowboy Bebop. So that's why if Coyote Ragtime shows physically looks a lot like Cowboy Bebop, that's why. So that's an appeal right there. It is action. It is. I wouldn't call it. No, I would call it shonen. It's very shonen-y. It's you start off right away. So the plot of the story is very simple. Mister, who is kind of the leader of this ragtag group of people, escapes out of jail with 7 days left on his sentence. So why does he break out with only a week left on his sentence? Well, it turns out that there's this planet called Graceland that's undergoing such a vicious civil war that the president of the Milky Way, yes, decided to just blow up the planet. So Mister comes back to this dive bar where this young girl, Franca, is kind of the little girl who runs everything and is kind of like the mother of the group, so to speak, and is running this bar. He shows up. His two cohorts, I'm forgetting their names. One is Katana. I forget the other one. They're the one who actually flies the ship. Does not look like anything from Cowboy Bebop, by the way. And so that's the little ragtag group. And this, of course, this gangster outfit, right? Sounds familiar, like from Cowboy Bebop, is hunting Mister because he knows where this big treasure is. And so these very made cyborg hunters for this organization are hunting Mister down and are looking for Franca, and they're looking for the key to the treasure that it happens to be on, yes, Graceland, the planet that's about to get nuked in 7 days. So there you go. In terms of plot, it's not, it's not very complex. The storytelling is a linear storyline. It's not like Cowboy Bebop where you have each episode is its kind of own thing with connections to the overall story arc. Basically, Franca is the daughter of the Pirate King who was killed by one of the leaders of the organizations who controls, of course, the made cyborg killer dolls. And Franca, it holds the key to finding the treasure on Graceland. So this show is this is just action, right? This is just, and it's fast paced. It just moves. It looks good for the time of the animation of the time. And if you're a Cowboy Bebop fan, you're gonna be like, this is a Cowboy Bebop clone, and that's what it is. But that's okay because it's fun, right? You have enough connections between people who worked on Cowboy Bebop and on this show that it makes it all right. That's kind of a clone. And it's very enjoyable. And I think one of the reasons why it never really took off is because it was a clone of Cowboy Bebop. And I think it was just one of those things that the story was just not complex enough to grab people's interest. And again, it's only a 13 episode OVA, and it just flies under the radar. So, should you watch this? Yes, I think you should. If you like Cowboy Bebop and you want something entertaining, we're not talking, the grand designs of Cowboy Bebop here, but if you want something entertaining that Cowboy Bebop could be, watch Coyote Ragtime Show. It's worth your time. Would I say that you should stop watching other things and make room for this first at the top of your list? Probably not, but it should be in your top 10 to watch over the next however long it takes you to go through your ginormous watch list. It's good enough that it should be up closer to the top. So yes, Coyote Ragtime Show. There's enough meat there. There's enough action. There's fun things to look at. It's interesting to watch, and yeah, it's just a fun little thing to watch. Watch it. Okay, so that's it for this week. A brand new trailer or something that looks potentially awesome, Suicide Squad Isekai, and a under the radar, much forgotten anime that you should probably put at the top of your watch list, Coyote Ragtime Show. I forgot to mention in the review there that in the post credits they do stop motion animation of the characters. It's kind of funny. Anyway, so a couple things. So SciTube appears to no longer have a deal with YouTube, wherein you can kind of create your own channels by taking YouTube links and putting it into SciTube. And what I've been doing is kind of putting related anime links to what I was talking about during the week. And unfortunately, that is no more for the time being. So sad. If I figure out another platform to do that kind of thing, I will. But unfortunately, no more of that for the time being. The other thing is Gen Con coming up at the beginning of August. If you happen to be going, you see me there, please say hello to me. What else? I have, oh yes, I'm making a new YouTube channel. I have another YouTube channel called unagisteve, and that's just kind of a hodgepodge of stuff. So if you want to go over there, I'll put the link down below. It's just kind of different stuff. It's gaming, it's anime, it's weird art stuff. I don't know. I have a video of the Blondie Damned and the Damned concert that I went to, a few months ago. So anyway, or actually it's almost been a year. So if you want to check that out, please do. But the new channel is going to be Masui's Story, and and I'll be sending that up over the next couple weeks. For those of you who know what that is or don't know what that is, Masui's Story is a autobiography of a mid-level samurai in the Edo period. And I have, over the past couple of years, read excerpts from it on this channel. And you can actually see it if you want to go through the videos. So I'm going to devote an entire channel to doing readings from that autobiography because it's really interesting and fun. So when I set that up, I'll let you guys know. Okay, I think that is going to be it for this week. And again, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, hit the bell, and take care of yourselves because I love you guys, and I hope to see you soon.